Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us at today's webinar entitled A Year of Discovery. We've got a jam-packed hour ahead of us, so let's make a start with some brief introductions. So in the virtual room with you today is two members of Aldi's recruitment team, myself and my colleague Tammy. I joined Aldi 18 months ago as an assistant to our recruitment director and have had 2 promotions since then, and now lead the area manager and placement graduate recruitment team. Over to you, Tammy.
Thank you, Vicky. I have been with Aldi for just over 3 years now. I have always worked within the recruitment team. However, I started on our regional recruitment team, so I recruited for assistant store managers and store managers, and then the same in our logistics arm of the business, so section leaders and warehouse managers. I have recently, within the last few months, moved across to the area manager and placement team.
Thanks, Tammy. So between us, we manage the end-to-end process of every application we receive for all graduate and career changer, area manager and placement roles across GB. So we're based in Bolton in the regional office as part of the UK HR function, and we focus on all elements of the employee life cycle. So this covers attraction, recruitment, training, career progression, health, wellbeing and benefits for all of our 38,000 colleagues in GB. During the next hour, we'll aim to provide you with an overview of Aldi, our placement opportunities and what makes us an award-winning graduate employer. You will also get to hear from some of our current placement colleagues, and we'll even give you some insider information, some hints and tips on how to apply and what to expect during our recruitment process. So finally then, we will end our time together with a bit of a Q&A session. We understand there's lots to consider when you're applying for your placement, and some of you may not have been through a recruitment process like this before. So this is really your opportunity to ask us any questions you may have. You can either drop them into the chat function or bring them up at the end, and we'll aim to answer as many as we can. That's what we're here for. So why join #Team Aldi on our placement programme? Well, the responsibility and exposure, the training, and yes, the salary and extensive benefits package, but top of your list really should be the opportunity to get involved, give more and get even more back. At Aldi, you'll progress at pace, just like our tills. And it doesn't stop there. With our support, you'll be ready to do so much more. Here's some of the reasons why Aldi means more. So we invest really heavily in our people, and we work hard to maintain our corporate responsibilities, and we're hugely proud of our awards and credentials. At Aldi, we know our success has only been made possible thanks to our amazing colleagues, which is why our staff benefits span across discounts and finances, wellbeing, fitness and much more. We understand that amazing doesn't happen overnight, and this is why we are making changes to be greener, fairer and healthier every day. From sourcing sustainable produce, reducing our plastic and packaging waste, working with amazing charities and also our partnership with Team GB to ensure that we're constantly working on making these changes every single day. So our credentials, they speak for themselves. We're really proud to have been recently awarded Employer of the Year at the Grocer Gold Awards, and we're also consistently placed in the Times Top 100 Graduate Employers. So our placement programs offer unique learning experiences across different areas within Aldi, and it really is the perfect opportunity to start a career in retail. You'll take on lots of responsibility quickly, and whatever placement you choose, you'll be receiving incredible support throughout. With determination and extraordinary focus, you'll learn lots about yourself as you tackle brand new situations and learn where your strengths lie in a fast-paced environment. As you can see on screen, we have various opportunities across different business areas within Aldi. So our retail management placement is available across all 11 regions in GB, and it's an introduction to the reality of Aldi, how we tick and what we're made of, and how we've transformed into one of the world's most successful retailers. You'll gain experience across the business. Your first 6 months will be based in store. This will includes shadowing a store manager, an area manager, and working up towards becoming an assistant store manager yourself. You'll spend the second half of your placement in the regional offices, experiencing all the various departments that help make our stores tick, from trade-ins right the way through to logistics. It really is a real insight into the role of an Aldi area manager. So our retail management placements are across 11 of our regions. Apologies. We'll now listen to a quick video from one of our current retail management placement colleagues, Bethan.
I'm Bethan and I'm a retail management student at Aldi. Okay, so the person I was when I started on my first day was definitely a different person to who I am now. I have a lot more confidence in myself. I trust myself to make bigger decisions than I did then. I think I have a lot more say and I know that what I say matters. I think I didn't really feel like that at the start of the year, but I definitely know that what I say now has an impact. Teamwork skills have developed tremendously. My leadership skills, be able to run a store on your own, you have to have strong leadership skills and get to know people and get along with people. So I think the person I am now is a very different person to who I was at the start of the year. The highlight of my placement year would probably be the store opening in November. I went to the store as a store assistant and I came out as an assistant store manager after only 3 weeks of being at the store because I was pushed into that situation. Seeing a store from empty to full is something that I never thought I'd get to see, so I just made sure to really take that opportunity with both hands and make sure I really enjoyed it. If you're thinking about going to do any sort of placement at Aldi, 100% take the opportunity to do it. You will be a different person at the end to when you started in all aspects of your life, so I would definitely recommend it.
So perhaps working in store operations isn't for you. So maybe a perfect placement would be our head office at Aldi, whether you're tackling the latest challenges in e-commerce, making the most of technology and global business coordination, creating something brand new in national IT, or going global in supply chain management, innovating our buying process or designing our store layouts in national projects. You'll make the most of your skills and develop even more. All of these placements are based at our head office in Atherstone. So let's hear from Gabby. Gabby is currently on our global business coordination placement, and this is a video of her story so far.
My name is Gabby, and I'm currently a placement student in Global Business Coordination. The key thing that drew me to Global Business Coordination at Aldi was the international aspect of it all. So getting that real exposure to understand how communications are handled and how bigger global strategic decisions are made was extremely valuable to me. And joining this department gave me a great opportunity to understand how larger organizations operate in practice. I think Aldi is a great place to join as a placement student because you get more responsibility maybe compared to some other organizations you may join, and that's what makes it so rewarding. So you get all the support you need from your managers to make an effective change in the organization. Throughout the year I've noticed a change in myself, and I think as I go back to university that will help me complete my degree, but also wherever the future takes me I feel like I can really use all of those skills that I have picked up at Aldi. I was invited to join a working group focused on diversity and inclusion. I think just proves that Aldi really gives out these opportunities to their placement students to get involved and to speak up and to really make a difference.
Okay, so what will you need to apply for a placement programme with Aldi? Candidates should be working towards a 2-1 degree in any discipline, will have 96 UCAS points or 63 Scottish Highers or the equivalent from your top 3 qualifications, hold a full driving licence with an access to a car, and hold the right to work in the UK. And finally, be ready to take on any challenge as we're looking for individuals who use their initiative and always strive for smarter and simpler ways of doing things. So what you'll get, a year in industry is a great way to see how a company works, but our placement programs provide so much more. Retail by nature is very fast-paced. It's a challenging role, so we're looking for people who aren't afraid to roll their sleeves up and work hard. You'll develop many important skills in the role, from time management to organisation, prioritisation, efficiency and people management. Of course, you'll be very well rewarded for all of your hard work with our excellent salary of £25,375 and benefits package. And there are opportunities to progress to our area manager programme or secure a graduate job with us once you've finished university. In addition, throughout the year with us, you'll be provided with lots of support, guidance and help to succeed in the role.
Thank you, Vicky. I really hope that brings our placement opportunities to life for you all. My colleagues and I have all been through the Aldi application process, so we know firsthand how daunting it can be when applying for one of our roles. But believe me, it is much simpler than you think. When we started, we promised that we'd give you some insider information, hints and tips on how to be successful in your application with Aldi. So we're going to do exactly that. Our placement recruitment process is made up of 4 stages, as you can see displayed on screen. The first is an online application. Our open questions in the application form will allow you to tell us everything you know about Aldi and why you want to join #TeamAldi. We're going to ask you a whole variety of questions about what motivates and inspires you. You can use examples from anything in your life, including hobbies, societies, and employment. There is lots to get in here, so no need to rush it. Make sure you read it through, or even better, get someone else to read it through for you. This is then followed by a video interview. First impressions go a real long way, so think about where you want to record your interview and how you want to present yourself. Let your personality shine. We receive lots of applications to our programme each year, so you will need to stand out from the crowd. Think outside the box with your examples. Make sure they relate to the question, but say something that we'll remember. Structure your answers using the STAR method, so the situation, the task, the action, and the result, to make sure you showcase your capability clearly. Next up is the group assessment. We're currently holding a mixture of virtual and in-person group assessments, and it's really important to prepare. So think about how you want to present yourself and how you want to engage with your assessor. Make sure you get your knowledge of the company across, but give other candidates the opportunity to showcase their skills too. At this stage, we're looking for leaders, but you also need to be able to work well with a variety of different people in a team if you're successful. So show us how you can do this. And finally, the final interview. The people that you need to impress when you get to the final interview stages are our managing directors. They are the ones that are responsible for hiring all of our placement colleagues. And they will focus on 3 key areas. You. Focus on all areas of your life, not just employment. The second key area is being able to talk about Aldi, so really do your research. We want to see your drive and passion that you have for our business. And thirdly, we are looking for you to demonstrate certain competencies, for example, leadership and teamwork. Okay, we are now going to talk you through the group assessment structure, our role as assessors, and what we are looking for. As previously mentioned, you are more than welcome to take notes, and if you think of any questions, we've built in the question and answer session at the end to talk through. As assessors, we have lots of responsibilities throughout the assessment to ensure that you have a positive experience. We assess each of you individually, not as a group, and we do this by assessing against our core competencies required for the role. We do take notes, and you'll probably see us do this throughout the assessment, but what we write is purely factual. It's our role to ensure that everyone is treated fairly throughout the process, to ensure consistency and create an inclusive environment. If reasonable adjustments have been stated on your application, this will be discussed with you prior to the group assessment. We are not here to trip you up or catch you out. We want you to enjoy the experience as best as you can. So try to put your nerves to one side, as it is our job to make you feel comfortable throughout the assessment. Although the assessment is completed as a group, it is really important to note that we are looking at you as an individual and rating your individual performance against our competency framework throughout each task. We start by providing a brief presentation about Aldi and some introductions, just so we get to know each other a little bit better, and I'm sure it helps settle everyone's nerves. The first activity is a store walk presentation. So in essence, you'll be asked to visit an Aldi store ahead of your group assessment and then present to the rest of the group and the assessor. We'll then take a short comfort break before moving into part 2 of the assessment. The second half of the assessment is an individual task that will lead into a group discussion between all of the candidates. Once that activity is completed, the assessor will then provide some information about next steps, and there is some time for you to ask any questions about the role, requirements, recruitment process, and Aldi if it has not already been covered within the assessment so far. So what are we looking for at this stage? As you can see on screen, displayed are some of the qualities and characteristics that as an assessor we believe are important to display during the group assessment. To summarise some of these, it is all about how you have a genuine interest and enthusiasm for our business and a career opportunity with us. Being able to identify key information within tasks, show that you have leadership qualities, that you can take control and give direction when necessary without overpowering others, that you can listen and understand others' thoughts and value their ideas, that you can be an effective decision maker but also drive a group towards a conclusion. Work with others, be a team player, and ensure that everyone gets their say. Communicate confidently, clearly, and professionally throughout. So we've given you a lot of information so far. A lot of information so far about our programme and the application process. However, to summarise, here are some invaluable hints and tips that will help you be successful. So personality. Your first impressions go a long way. We receive lots of applications to our programme each year, so you'll really need to stand out from the crowd. There is nothing more unique than you. Think outside the box with your examples and really let your personality shine through. To proofread and practice, check your work. As we've mentioned, there is no time limit on the online application, so ensure that you take your time to think of the best answers. It's also an idea to get family and friends to proofread your application. After all, this is the first impression that you will make to the business. There's also an opportunity to do a practice video interview, so ensure you use it so that you are best prepared for the real thing. Leadership and teamwork. To be a successful placement colleague at Aldi, you'll need to be able to lead by example and work well within teams. Our Aldi stores are successful due to the excellent teamwork that we encourage, as well as the high standards we set. Ahead of your application, think of strong examples which you feel can demonstrate this, and try to be structured with your answers. Within this role, you'll have to roll up your sleeves and work together. Research Aldi. You can visit Aldi stores, make sure to do your research of Aldi and our business model. Our website and social media channels are a great starting point. We have a lot of information on there for you to both read and watch. Our digital graduate brochure is full of useful information. Would definitely suggest reading this in detail to fully understand what would be expected of you in role. A great external publication to read is The Grocer. There are lots of articles in there about Aldi, but also it gives you an overview of our competitors and the wider retail market. Take note of any questions that you might have whilst doing your research, as there are an opportunity to ask these if you're successful at both group assessment and final interview stages. And finally, be punctual. Be punctual and dress professionally if you're successful in attending a group assessment or final interview. The retail management group assessments are currently virtual, so we would certainly recommend checking your camera, audio and Wi-Fi prior to attending. Head office group assessments and all final interviews are taking place in person, so if you are successful, check the location and plan your journey and do a practice journey if it's all possible. Really wanted to take the time to thank you all in joining us on our webinar today. We really hope it has given you a great insight into our placement programmes. An hour is definitely not enough to share everything with you, but as I mentioned earlier, our digital graduate brochure is a great way to find out more. Please feel free to scan the QR code displayed on screen, which will take you directly to our brochure and also the apply links for all of our roles. To conclude, let's hear from our current placement colleagues one last time.
What stood out for me on the first day of Aldi? What stood out for me on the first day of Aldi was how welcoming everyone was.
How lovely the people were.
Everyone was very approachable.
As soon as you enter the office, everyone wants to meet you, everyone wants to find out what your name is.
I was made to feel like a member of the team already.
What attracted me to the role at Aldi was that it wasn't a desk job, not 9 to 5. You're exposed to a huge variety of the business and it's all working with people.
Joining this department gave me a great opportunity to understand how larger organisations operate in practice.
The projects are very exciting, so you know you're making that extra bit of difference to the business if you can make something slightly more efficient or spot a problem or spot something which could operate slightly better.
My favourite part of the role is being able to be exposed to things that I've never worked on before and kind of experiencing these new challenges.
Working in store is great. It's a great environment to be in. It's incredibly fast-paced and hands-on, which is definitely what drew me to the role in the very beginning.
Being able to work with different individuals was a great opportunity for me to expand and a great honour as well.
You get loads of exposure to responsibility. It's great to work alongside a really experienced team. You learn so much from them.
One thing you notice throughout the year is the support, the continuous support you get from your colleagues and your team as well.
They want you to learn, they want you to develop, because ultimately that benefits everyone really and the company itself.
I've changed a lot, I've matured a lot, my confidence has definitely grown.
All of my soft skills, but also communication, the way I work with my colleagues.
I feel like one of the biggest things that I've improved on is my confidence, but then further than that, just a general awareness of business and like working inside of an office was something that I've really improved on.
And I feel like I've got a huge opportunity within Aldi in the future.
The role has been beyond any expectations I previously had. The exposure to management and leadership has been great.
If you're thinking about doing a placement, then I would 100% do it. It's one of the best things that I've done.
So next then, another question is, what will my typical working hours look like?
Oh, okay. So for the retail management placement, you'll need to provide the very best support to your store team. So that can involve working weekends and bank holidays. We just ask for you to be flexible and we'll accommodate your needs in return.
Thank you, Tammy. So the next one is, when does the placement program start? So I'll take this one, Tammy.
Yeah.
We are recruiting for lots of different placements across different business areas, as you're aware. But the great news is that all of the placement candidates join Aldi on the same date together. So they start the journey together. So the date for the next intake for placements is the 17th of July. 2023. So that is the starting date of the placement, and then they last 12 months. Okay, Another question that's come through is, what would you say is the best thing about working for Aldi?
Wow, okay, so quite a personal one. For me, it is the opportunities that are provided. So as I mentioned, I've been with Aldi for just over 3 years, and this kind of sort of really stood out to me all the way through the recruitment process. But within role, I've already been given the opportunity to complete my CIPD level 5, which really underpins the HR elements of the role that I'm doing. And not only that, I get to work across other teams within different departments, including diversity and inclusion, health and safety, to work on projects that really have an impact. So for me, it's all about creating a positive candidate experience and a candidate journey. So a lot of the projects that I've been involved in really do kind of have a wider business impact, and sort of are available and are noted throughout our application process. So it's definitely the opportunity and the variety for me.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tammy. Someone else has asked, do I need to relocate? So in essence, you may need to relocate depending on the role that you're applying for within the area you're applying to do it in. So for example, our head office placements are all based in Atherstone, which is just near Birmingham. So the likes of marketing, national buying, national IT, national supply chain, and much more, they are based at our head office. So relocating to that area would be required. However, our retail management placements are available across all of our regional offices. So we've got 11 regions. And if you want some more information on those regions, on our recruitment website, we've got a lovely map which dictates which regions are where, and that will give you a better understanding of the location. So for those, of course, you would not need to relocate if it's close to you, but if it's not, then of course you would have to relocate. Next up then, I have got a question that's come in asking about what other support is available for Aldi colleagues. So I'm happy to take this one.
Yeah, no problem.
So at Aldi, we are all about people. We understand that we've only been able to be successful off the back of having some amazing people working for us. So at Aldi, we want to provide the best support ever. So no matter what that is or what that looks like. So we have an app called My Aldi, which is for all colleagues. So whether you're in store or in head office. And essentially, My Aldi is giving everyone access to the platform at any point. And it's a place for colleagues to share their stories and recognise one another from the amazing work that they do. But also it highlights the likes of business news, up-and-coming charity events, and provides access to things like your pay slip and things like that. But we are part of, we've got a initiative that supports all areas of wellness for Aldi colleagues. So this would be in 5 key areas for Aldi: mental, nutritional, financial, physical, and social. And in our wellness area on the app, there are lots of resources that are available to all Aldi colleagues 24 hours a day.
Just noticed one on there now that's come through, quite an important one. What are the working hours when on a placement? So your working hours are likely to be Monday to Friday and 45 hours per week. And obviously you have to take into account that you will get 1 hour each day for your lunch break. We will still need flexibility to support the needs of our business. Obviously, in return, we also offer a great deal of flexibility back as well with our flexible working. So what we would say is if you need to alter your working hours on an ad hoc basis, it may be possible. But obviously, as long as you're working to your contracted hours each week, that is fine. But we will also offer that element of flexibility back in return.
Thank you, Tammy. So that brings us to the end of our questions. Thank you for those. And really, it's just an opportunity to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us on this webinar and showing that you've got an interest in exploring an opportunity with us here at Aldi. We really hope that you found it useful and that you are really interested in continuing your journey with the application process. Again, I'll just echo what Tammy said about linking with us on our social media channels to find out how to apply, find out stories from current colleagues within Aldi, and feel free to reach out to us via LinkedIn, for example, if you need to. So have a great day. We look forward to seeing your application, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.